I want to talk more about social anxiety and add some additional components to traditional methods like the one I just discussed. When we use methods like CBT, we're implementing clinically what is called a top down method. This is a very directional flow of perception that begins with the brain. It's the cognitive process that initiates with thoughts which flow down to the senses. In other words, a cognitively directive technique or method. Now, while this method is very useful when we're experiencing negative thoughts and significant anxiety, we're caught in what I call a thought loop, which is very difficult to break out of, which is why I believe anxiety is so resilient. Think of a thought loop like this. If you tell someone, don't think of a pink penguin, what are they going to think of? A pink penguin. So as opposed to using a top-down method, what if we also incorporated a bottom-up method? This is when we process sensory information to understand how specific stimuli are affecting us. In other words, increasing the awareness of our emotions. So let's think of the thought loop like an inner voice that is extremely difficult to stop. Again, trying not to think of pink penguins. And this thought or thoughts we're repeating over and over in our head only makes our anxiety worse. So intuitively, how do we master that inner voice in order to actively take control of our physiology? Especially in the case of social anxiety, where we're faced with a social situation and our anxiety and discomfort are rising. And what seems useful here is to work from a direction of connection and grounding. We need connection, relationships with others, and need to feel grounded and comfortable with our own abilities. In other words, using our capacity to notice and see what is around us and raise our awareness and connect with the present moment or current environment we find ourselves in.